Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the world of rare coins, and we've got a special treat for you, the 1967 1-cent coin. But what's so special about this coin, you ask? Well, stick around as we explore its rich history, its value, and how this small piece of copper could actually be worth big money. At first glance, this coin might seem pretty ordinary. After all, it's just a 1-cent piece, commonly known as a penny. But the 1967 1-cent coin holds much more significance than you might think. Let's take a quick look at this coin. On the front, we've got the image of Abraham Lincoln, who has graced the U.S. penny since 1909. The reverse side features the iconic wheat ears design, which was used from 1909 to 1958. However, in 1959, the design was changed to the Lincoln Memorial. But in 1967, the 1-cent coin still carried the wheat design, marking a final year for it. 1967 was an interesting time in American history. The United States was in the midst of the Vietnam War, and the civil rights movement was making waves across the country. But what about the coinage in circulation during this time? The U.S. Mint continued to produce the same designs, with minor tweaks here and there. By the 1960s, copper coins were in high demand, and pennies, in particular, were needed to keep up with the growing population and economy. Now, while 1967 might seem like just another year, it actually marked an important milestone for the penny. The coin was still in its traditional copper form, but little did anyone know that these coins would become valuable collector's items in the years to come. In 1982, just 15 years after the 1967 penny was minted, the U.S. government made a significant change to the composition of the penny. Copper prices were rising, and the production of pure copper pennies became too costly. As a result, the U.S. Mint began producing pennies made of copper-plated zinc instead. This marked the end of an era for the traditional copper penny. Because the 1967 penny was still made of pure copper, it's now considered a relic from a time before this monumental shift. And this copper content is one of the reasons why it's now in high demand with collectors. Okay, so what about the value of this coin? Well, if you have a typical 1967 1-cent coin, it's probably worth just 1 cent, right? Not quite. The value of the 1967 1-cent coin depends on a few key factors. The condition of the coin is the biggest factor. If your 1967 penny is in excellent condition, it could be worth more than just its face value. In fact, collectors are willing to pay a premium for coins that are well preserved, as these coins are harder to come by in pristine condition. Coins in uncirculated, mint condition could fetch anywhere from 10 to 50 cents. It doesn't sound like much, but hold on, because there are exceptions. Now, here's where things get interesting. There are certain rare 1967 1-cent coins that could be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars. For example, a 1967 penny with a unique error or variety, such as a double die or a minting mistake, can cause its value to skyrocket. One of the most valuable varieties of the 1967 penny is the double die variety. This happens when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned during the minting process, leading to a doubled image on the coin. If you happen to find a 1967 penny with this error, you could be looking at a coin worth anywhere from $100 to $1,000 or more, depending on its condition. In 2018, a 1967 double-die penny in mint condition sold for over $3,000 at auction. So, while most 1967 pennies might only be worth a few cents, if you have a rare error coin, you could be holding on to a small fortune. So how can you tell if your 1967 penny might be valuable? First, check for any obvious errors or misprints. Look for doubling on the date, the motto E pluribus unum, or even on the image of Lincoln himself. It's also important to examine the overall condition of the coin. Coins that are shiny and free from wear will be worth more than those that are heavily worn. Using a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe can help you spot small details that could make a big difference in value. And of course, if you're unsure, it's always a good idea to take your coins to a professional appraiser or a local coin shop. So, there you have it. The 1967 1-cent coin, while seemingly simple, has a rich history and could be worth more than you think. Whether it's the pure copper content, the historical significance, or the possibility of finding a rare era coin, this little penny holds a lot of potential. Thanks for watching, and remember, always check your spare change. You never know when you might find a hidden treasure. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more fascinating coin stories. Until next time, happy collecting!